mountain so high, under the vast and open sky, fields of gold where dreams ignite. Let's bring the future into the light. Oh, South Africa, hear our song. Let's right the wrongs and stand so strong. From our gate shores to the Cape's embrace, we'll rise together and reclaim our place. The heart of the nation beats so true, in every soul in red and blue. Politicians who care not ensnare, leaders who lead with love to share. Oh, South Africa, hear our song. Let's right the wrongs and stand so strong. From our gate shores to the Cape's embrace, we'll rise together and reclaim our place. Save the spirit that never dies. Hope still burns in our people's eyes. We'll build a future bright and free, a land of peace and unity. Oh, South Africa, hear our song. Let's right the wrongs and stand so strong. From our gate shores to the Cape's embrace, we'll rise together and reclaim our place. Oh, South Africa, hear our song. Let's right the wrongs and stand so strong. From our gate shores to the Cape's embrace, we'll rise together and reclaim our place.
Why isn't this showing up on the camera? You guys can hear me, right? But my camera's not showing up, even though it shows that it's active. What the heck's going on here? That is very strange. My camera's not showing up on screen for some reason, folks. I don't know what that is, why it's doing that. That's weird. That's never happened before. Can you hear me okay? It's never happened before. Yeah, so it's not playing nice here. Oh boy. Okay, so I'm not really sure what's going on here. That's not it. Very strange. It turns the device on, but then it doesn't show up on the screen. I see it turned on. I open this up and I see it there. Oh boy, what is going on? This has never happened before. Very strange. All right, well, I don't know what to do here other than try to add another camera. Oh boy, what an idiotic situation here. Camera, video capture, add device. Let's go to webcam. Okay, there it is. Custom. We don't want that. We want 19 by 1080. Okay. Okay, there we go. Close. Oh, transform. Stretch the screen. Wow. That's just crazy, folks. I don't know what happened there, what's going on. It's sometimes the software doesn't want to play nice, and tonight's one of those times. Well, welcome back to the program here with this bumpy start to the program. It is Tuesday, the 24th of March, 2026. Where the heck is this thing at? A little further down here? Come on. Play nice. It's not playing nice. There we go. Finally. All right. I have to get it back in a certain order or things don't appear on the screen. Well, welcome, everybody. Good evening. Sound was good, wasn't it? Let's check it out. Well, welcome, everybody. Yeah, I got that pretty loud there. South Africa, hear our song. Let's right the wrongs. Welcome back. Making South Africa great again. Matt Max is here. Good evening to you. Bram Krutze, CBB, Kathy Price, Art Queen, Redbeard gives you wings. And Art Queen says, at 14 months, my son at last got a case number and had his fingerprints done yesterday. Well, that's pretty awesome. Congratulations to him. That's what he wants. Xavier Grayling, we've been concerned about you, man. Talk about no long time no here. You've been missing. We've been playing all kinds of music trying to tempt you back. It was like the Pied Piper trying to get you to come back, and you've been missing in action. I figured you must have been dealing with some case. Sumari, welcome to you. Cecilia Kruger. Second Chance USA, welcome to you. East Coast Ostrich. Ulrich Fenter. Daisy, okay. Renee Bielefeld, welcome up. You can hear me. Yep, I figured you could hear me. So check out the tulips, ladies and gentlemen. The pink ones have caught up, and I have an invader. This bucket of purple tulips is supposed to be all purple, and look at the pink one in there. I got a pink straggler right there. There he is. Look at that. Hello, folks. 1, 2, 3. There's 2 here. 3, 4, 5, 6. One coming up here. And on the pink side, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and another popping up 7. They're coming out beautifully. By the way, those tulips are like that in here because this artificial light, the conversation, they're enjoying my company. My tulips outside, which have been subjected to this cold weather, near freezing temperatures, are just that high off the ground. My azaleas are about the same height, which means they'll bloom later, as long as nothing happens. But look at these tulips in here. They are just going gangbusters. Fantastic. They're not cosmos flowers. They're tulips. For those who wish to know, for those old enough to remember how the public sector used to work, it'd feel like life's returned back to normal. Okay, tulips have grown so very high, beautiful. Yep. Well, in fact, they are surpassing the height of the White House. Big purple one on the outside there is over the White House now. Pretty soon they'll be reaching those stars, and then that'll be about it. And over here, they've reached the mouth of the Statue of Liberty. Lady Liberty has got a tulip in her chin. My favorite flower. Yeah, tulips. I love flowers. I love tulips, I should say. Yep. Yeah, they are amazing. And they're just going great. And I'm glad that they're blooming before I leave for Las Vegas. Because when I come back, they're going to probably all be gone. Okay. Amazing Yacht Destinations in from Thailand. What's going on, brother? How's it going? Yeah, Max sent me a picture of that hat that he got. So I made a video earlier, which will probably hurt some people's feelings, but I'm tired of people being creating problems. You have to stand up for yourself. You have rights. You can't simply just let people roll over you. They cannot blacklist you. They cannot coerce you into signing a lease. There are a lot of things they cannot do, and they are going to be exposed for what they're doing here. And this has probably been going on for decades, and now it's being exposed, courtesy of the fact that my audience is attuned, they're listening to me, and these people are getting questions from South Africans who simply don't roll over. But do not contact me after the fact when you're in trouble and say, well, I'm being thrown out in the street. Well, this is the first I heard of it. Had you told me about the failures of them 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Now, to be fair, sometimes I get email from people I don't know about. What I'm saying, tell me, you need to come into the chat when we're having like night owls, or I'm doing a stream and I'm talking about refugee questions or Cafe Clutch on a Sunday and say, hey, listen, I'm in Austin, Texas. These are the things that happen to me. I'll tell you to send me an email and put something in the title so it jumps out at me, okay? Good, I finally got my name on my son's birth certificate. Now the fight for the passport. Okay. I haven't seen the Biz News video. Yeah, it's Chris sent me that. That way I had to get up at 6:30 after I went to bed at 3:30 to do that this morning, and I did it at 7:30. So let me see. I'd like to see how it came out because I was tired. Come on. Yeah, it's amazing. All these content creators, none of them ever want to have me on anymore. Now, business, that's a different thing. But a lot of these content creators, no one ever asked me to come on anymore because I guess they don't want people to watch my channel. I don't know what the deal is. And Francois Thrawn, thank you for your long-term membership, brother. Okay, 15-second commercial for business. Come on, come on, come on. Skip, 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 skip. Got 9 dislikes. Jump ahead to me.
Colonel Chris Wyatt. Welcome, Chris.
Hey, Chris. Well, you know, the first casualty of war is the truth. That's what they've always say. That old canard thrown out there. But I think it is true. The first casualty of war is the truth. And where's the truth here? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what Trump has to gain from this. Some U.S. analysts on the left side of the political spectrum claim it's because the economy is in trouble in America because prices. But that's utter nonsense. I live in this country. I shop. I purchase. The only rising prices for the most part at this stage are the prices of petrol at the pump, but that's not unusual. The price of petrol swings up and down. And in the summertime, as we get into...
Yeah, so how long was that? That's about 18 minutes. Yeah, okay, cool. Somebody said, kudos to me for your honesty. Cool, thank you. Somebody said, I love listening to Colonel Wyatt. He's always so balanced on bias and factionalist comments. Well, you're very welcome. Cool. Business has just become pro-Trump and right-wing mouthpiece at this point. Are you serious? Did they even watch the video? Okay, somebody here watched it, didn't you? Did I not criticize the Trump administration several times in this video? These people are just idiots. Let's see what else here. Very disappointing, Chris. You should know better. Kushner and Vitkov were part of the first and second Zion Nazi con game when they claimed negotiating were just setting the Iranians up for murder. Chris, so many stories. Even a lot of Americans disagree from your views. I know one thing, nobody can disagree with you. You can lie as much as you want. A lie is like a shadow if it follows you. What lie? First off, this is an analysis and opinion program. I'm not lying about my opinions and my analysis. Bull dust. Which 22 countries are those? Really? Okay. Well, that's funny. Okay, 22 countries. 22 COUN countries. There you go. 22 countries, Strait of Hormuz. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I'll help him out with this. Okay. That doesn't give me all of them. I got to find a better story there. 22 countries, including South Korea. Let's see. It's just so easy to prove these people wrong. I'll come one of these. Okay, list the 22 countries. What are the... I don't want to type them all. 22 countries to... Okay. Why doesn't it give me this grok thing? Wall Street Journal, that's the one I was looking for. Ugh, it doesn't give it to me. Damn it. One of these damn stories had all of them. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there we go. There you go. Copy. I'll help these idiots out since they're not bright enough. Who are the 22 countries? Paste. There you go. Call me a liar. And these people are such retards. And I'll give you the receipts. Happy fan. Oh, nice for you. These people are so funny. These people kill me. Can't judge a campaign. What the hell do you think intelligence professionals do? These people kill me. I was a combat corps officer. Well, good for you. Good for you. So you were combat arms. Well, your job's not to assess. Your job is to shoot, move, and communicate, and put lead on target. My job was to assess, among many other things. These people don't even watch the videos. What you that big? Sorry. I tell you, the cheek of retards on the internet is just so funny. Well, these are all really nasty. The trolls are out in force here. The trolls are out in force in this thing. A bunch of retards. I'm going to pay attention to that. I don't know about that building me a sapphire. Okay, thank you, Xavier. No, radical Islam will never be gone. Just like fanatical Christians will never be gone. There's always stupid people. Am I the only one asking questions? Taco Trump unfolding. No, Xavier. Retards wrote nasty comments about my video saying that. But where's your evidence? Where's the fold? Where's the fold? We've hit 9,000 targets. 4 days ago or 6 days ago, it was 5,000 targets. It means 4,000 things have been bombed this week, which is in this week is nearly half the total targets. I don't understand that comment. Why? What you all don't get is Trump keeps people off balance, and I think that's part of it. And it's funny in this video, I criticized the Trump administration several times, and these self-pleasuring retards on there going MAGA and calling me a liar. It's just, geez, I swear to God, what a bunch of retards. See, here's the problem. Those people commenting, a couple problems. They're dumb. That's the first problem. Second problem is that they're all envious and jealous because they're stupid and not as bright as, a 3-year-old or a 5th grader. And probably someone want to date me. Oh my goodness. It's just insane. No, President Trump's birthday is June 14th, Flag Day, and the Army's birthday. Yeah, no, look, this is the thing I get a kick out of. I could come out here and be a leftist, and these retards in South Africa would attack me as being a MAGA guy. It's unbelievable. So if you're balanced and you tell the truth about something because you're not hating on Trump on everything you say, but I mean, watch the video. I talked. She tried to pin me down and say that they underestimated the campaign, and I said no. But I gave some examples where they might have underestimated the resilience of the Iranian regime. I look at all your videos after the time I had a small op on my right hand, and I am right-handed. Thank you for you're welcome, D. Thorne. I'm sorry to hear you had an operation. I hope it's going well. Yep. Francois Thron says ignore them. Well, the problem is that none of you all are going over and saying nice things. Usually when a couple of trolls come on, they have a bunch of nice comments, but now all this nonsense about right-wing, there's nothing right-wing here. It's unbelievable. Liability insurance is $180. Liability for what? That's cheap. Are you talking about for a car? Well, that's because you have no driving record. And it depends on your age and whether you're married or not. Yep. Mad Mac's right. They don't listen. They just make comments because they're stupid. They're dumb, retard. Like the guy, I am a combat ops officer. What the hell is that? A combat ops officer? There's no such thing. What the hell is that? It's retards, I swear. It's unbelievable how stupid some people are. Yeah. Oh, your Ford Fusion 2020 model. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's and that's just liability. I mean, what's your deductible too? That's something you take a risk on. If you get a $250 deductible, that means you only pay the first $250 if something happens. So, $500 deductible makes it's much more manageable. Yep. So, yeah, insurance is expensive. I mean, I have a clean driving record, no speeding tickets, no traffic accidents, 40 plus years of safe driving. And my insurance has gone from $58 for 2 vehicles per month to $110 in the past 5 years. It's doubled. Yep. And this is a place where there's no car thefts around here. We don't have tsunamis and floods damaging vehicles and, none of that. So, yeah. It's just crazy. Yeah. So there's the 22 countries these retards are asking about. Wow. 22 countries. I'm going to save that story so I've got it. It's hilarious because they don't hear the truth on the garbage they watch on SABC or Newsroom Africa or whatever the hell is the source they're getting their idiocy from, because it doesn't match the lies they hear elsewhere. Then they just accuse me of lying. I didn't lie. There's 22 countries. It's a matter of record. It's reported in all major media outlets around the world. And as I said, these countries were foolish not to join in, and now they're joining in because they realize their economy's in trouble. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. But, stupid people should wear signs. They really should. Just remember how stupid the average person is. Never half is dumber than that. Okay. Hey, Charissa, what's going on? Yep. So I'm behind on sending people stuff. I was at the thing Saturday, and I haven't had sent the photograph of these people who gave me their contact. It's just been that busy. I need time to sit down and do things. And the messages just keep coming. Start doing super chats again as soon as I get a U.S. account. You don't have a U.S. account? Oh, you mean for... Yeah. No, I got you. You mean a U.S. YouTube account. Just create another account, Monster Max. Create another account. A lot of people are liquidating their accounts. If you're doing that, just create another account. You can have more than one YouTube account. I've got 5. I've seen ads on Facebook here in Pennsylvania. If you... yeah, that's an ad everywhere. They just curate it for the state you're in. That's just nonsense. People's minds become so unstimulated that all they can do is scan for a few minutes and what they hear and not what is actually being said. Exactly. Yeah. Hey, Pat Schultz, what's going on? What is going on? Even Bob Dylan sang about that 50 years ago. What, the times are changing? D. Thorne says, entering last phase of the process. Well, congratulations to you. That's exciting. What do we call this stream? I forget. I need to fill in my account with working dollars. Yeah, no, I got you. What do we call this one? I can't remember now. I got to go back and look and see what I called this stream. Come on. Oh, Trump says, well, yeah, he said they're willing to give up the nukes. Yeah, that's what it was. Francois, thank you for the 14 Rand. Yeah, Trump says Iran is willing to give up the nukes, but, I mean, Iran's denying they're talking to him. So, anyway. Trump says Iran has agreed to give up nukes. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Now, even in that video, I even acknowledged something that was plausible that made sense, which is certainly not a MAGA statement. I said that Iran claimed that Trump is lying about them negotiating, and their argument was, well, he's doing that so that they can get troops in the region. I dismissed that because that's ludicrous. We don't need troops in the region. We have the troops we need there. Marines are on ships in the Arabian Sea and in the Indian Ocean. We don't need to put troops there. We've got troops there already. Also, they can fly from Europe in a few hours' notice. Special forces can be there and land. In addition to that, we have total air dominance. So, there's no need to amass 500,000 troops on the ground like we did in Iraq in 1991. But they did say the Iranians claim that Trump is doing it to manipulate the oil markets and ease the pressure on energy. That's plausible. That seems like a reasonable analysis. I don't agree with that is, and I would hope Trump's not doing that. But I even recognize that. I alluded to it and said the Iranians may be onto something there. Yet I'm called a MAGA shill. These retards, man, I swear. Yep, I've seen ads here on Facebook, Pennsylvania. If you have no DUI 5 years, you can be eligible to lower car insurance. Oh, yeah, well, Jason, that's true. But, I mean, my insurance is from USA and San Antonio, Texas. And I'm not going to do much better than that, so... Yeah, Red, what's your FG thing? Feel free. It's night owls, and I'm not doing anything. So I'm just talking about this, but I want to get to this story very quickly. But go ahead and whatever your question is or statement about FG, go ahead and throw it in. Trump says Iran has agreed to not pursue nuclear weapons. There won't be any nuclear weapons. Iran has agreed to that. We're in a good bargaining position. He said Iran is mostly defenseless. We're way ahead of schedule, and again, they have no Navy, they have no Air Force or missile protection. Most of Iran's missile launchers have been taken out by the U.S. military. Yep. As he was speaking to reporters, former Senator of Oklahoma, Mark Wayne Mullen, was sworn in as the new Homeland Security Secretary. Trump said the Iranian officials are talking to us, and they're talking sense. But it starts with them not having nuclear weapons. But the Iranians say no negotiation has been held with the U.S., and fake news is used to manipulate the financial oil markets to escape the quagmire which the U.S. and Israel trap. Okay, all right. The problem with that statement is they completely undermine it. By claiming that there's a quagmire. The United States and Israel are not in a quagmire. They are operating with impunity. No Allied aircraft have been shot down by the Iranians. Not a single aircraft in nearly a month of operations. That is unparalleled in history. That is unprecedented. Unprecedented. There's no quagmire here. Now, there is a sense of urgency. That was another thing, too. I said Trump's got like 60 days. It's just, I tell you, man. It's oh, my goodness. It's a shame. Virginia's beautiful. As long as you stay out of the bedroom communities of Northern Virginia. So mediators aim for U.S.-Iran meeting on Thursday. Officials from Turkey, Egypt, and Pakistan are pushing to have talks arranged, but both sides are far apart. Mediators from Turkey, Egypt, and Pakistan are pushing to have a meeting arranged between U.S. and Iranian officials in the next 48 hours. Both sides remain far apart. Pakistan offered to mediate peace talks between the U.S. and Iran to end the war, an overture that was amplified by Trump on social media. U.S. has sent Iran a 15-point plan to end the war, which centers largely around previous Trump administration demands. Gulf states are growing alarmed by Trump's eagerness to do a deal. The leaders in Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates are lobbying Trump to stick with the war until Iran is officially weakened so it won't pose a threat. Now, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? So we keep hearing that that Trump is, just attacking it, going crazy. Now here they're saying they think Trump is pulling out. Make a mind up here. Come on. Oh, my goodness. 15-point plan. And they don't elaborate on what the 15 points are. That's just lame. Yep. Got email on the 17th, current availability for interview on 25th, confirmed, but they sent no confirmation. Okay. Well, that's not good. Everybody going to Dallas. Have fun. You hope you won't be laughing in June. Once you get stuck in that Dallas traffic, you're going to rethink that idea. So many fake news stories that apparently a couple U.S. soldiers have passed. The last was that apparently Iran shot and damaged fuel plane crash. No, that's an old story, Xavier Grayling, and that happened over Iraq. It was KC-135. They have yet to determine publicly or determine what caused the accident. It was either a mid-air collision with the refueling boom, which is almost non-existent, but it's possible, or it was a mechanical failure, but it was not shot down. We've lost 3 aircraft in the air over Kuwait, shot down by the Kuwaitis. Thank you for your membership. Hostokulos. And there's reports today of another one was shot down over Kuwait. I haven't confirmed that. And we lost the KC-135. So 4 aircraft have been shot down, 3 by friendly fire, 1 we don't know, mechanical, not shot down. And then we had some KC-135s on the ground in Saudi Arabia that were damaged. I think 4 of them were damaged by a missile strike. It hit the airfield. Yep. So, yeah. You're at the train station now waiting. So you're already going? Didn't you just get to Rochester like 5 minutes ago? And you're going to Texas now? Train station? There's no train to Texas. Heavy traffic from Dallas West and Lyndon Johnson, like George Bush Pike. We don't know if they send the toll road bill and post. I'm not sure. I think they do in Texas, yeah. Yep. Yeah, too much fake news. People lie. The media lies. Speaking of lies, let's talk about South Africa's white agricultural minister, who latches onto an obvious statement here to try to cover his incompetence. So, Minister of Agriculture, the white Minister of Agriculture, in case you didn't know he was white, Cyril reminded us, John Steenhuisen says the rise in the number of foot and mouth disease outbreaks is due to increased reporting and vaccine rollout. Really? Outbreaks rose from 932 on March 2nd to 1,152 on March 20th, partly due to increased reporting enabled by vaccine availability. So what you're saying is that farmers didn't know that their cattle had foot and mouth disease until you brought vaccine out? Are you claiming they didn't report it? That's a different thing. The continued rise is more due to people reporting it, he says. Well, we've had lots of foot and mouth disease going on here for years, and you ignored it. You ignored it. The ANC ignored it. You ignored it when you came in office. Department of Agriculture confirmed in a presidential parliament as of March 20th, there were 1,152 outbreaks of foot and mouth disease in South Africa. And look where they are. Even the Western Cape has 10 now. Northern Cape 2. How the hell do they get to Northern Cape? Wow. But most are in the Free State and in KZN and Gauteng. There you go. But it's because now more people are reporting it. That may be partially true, but these numbers have been elevated for a long time. The numbers were simply weren't being reported. It was far more out there. Alma Fundamava says, we're going to keep the faith story strong. Okay. Yeah, thank you. I do feel better. Fake news, Colonel, you aware of the parliamentary agreed to podcast? Yes, I am, but I was working, so I could cover it. I think Ronaldo covered it today. What did they say? I heard it was a joke. It was a farce. Wait for it. Soon we'll hear of corruption in the foot and mouth outbreak vaccine. Of course. Well, they were paying an outrageous price for each dose of vaccine, so there already is corruption. All right, so that's happening. And I made a video a short while ago, which I published. It's about the Iranian embassy and the démarche. We'll see if people watch it. I said that Durko has démarched the Iranian ambassador to South Africa over his conduct and his embassy's conduct on their Twitter account. Of course, that's not true. I was being facetious. And I was alluding to the hypocrisy of the Thule House when it comes to that. Demarching Ambassador Bozell for doing nothing wrong, and then letting the Iranians post the most vile and repulsive things on their Twitter account, on their South African embassy site, and doing nothing about it. They are hypocrites. Hypocrites. That's who they are. Yeah, nobody's watching that at this hour. Spread disease is because 1/3 of the earth is unregulated and controlled. Great video about it. Yeah, I did, and I talked about how the traditional herders just ignore fences and ignore routes and crossings, and in addition to that, South Africa has inadequate number of dips and rail crossing, not rail crossings, but the bars you go across, you drive across where cattle can't walk through them. They have insufficient numbers of those at road crossings. You have those all over Botswana. Yep. Yeah, and even in Namibia. So there's other reasons for it too. Also, it's endemic. It's in wildlife. So, there should have always been a vaccination program in South Africa. This should have always been an ongoing thing. This reactive position, waiting until the disease outbreak and then you start vaccinating, is ridiculous. Almost had a flaw. What? Rekindled hope for what? Wife got sick all over in the plane. Ugh. That sucks. It's a short trip. A very short trip. Up and ready to go sit for a day at government hospital, get everything ticked for medications for hubby again today. Okay, Helena. Even when the people crossing the borders illegally into South Africa. Yeah, that's true too. Just like the criminal alien invaders coming in across the southern border have done the same thing to America. Yep. Anyway, so. Not many people watched my video for the Drakensberg Boys Choir, honoring and remembering its founder, John Tungay. It was a little disappointing. Only 1,400 views. Ramaphosa's racist dog whistle. That one got 12,000. And the two I did. So today I did, many crickets. How many videos did I do today? I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos prepared, plus a short. One short. And this is my third live of the day. So it's 70. It's like 9 videos today. The hip is the hip. It's nothing new. What chain stores are closing, Holden? Oh, you watched that. Durko going. Okay, you did watch it. That's when it just came up. I thought it was hilarious. I'm just trying to call it the hypocrisy of Latuli House. Harley Quinn's back. What's going on? It's very sad that he passed. He's well known around. It is. I did 6 prepared and a short and 3 lives, including this one. So that's 7. That's 10 videos for the day. Wow. Wow. I didn't realize it was that many. I said I had a lot of videos to do. And I didn't cover all the topics I wanted to cover. I still got more to cover. Yep. That's crazy. Anyway, so those are the news things. Yep. And that was they mocked Trump. So the Iranian embassy mocks Trump over Strait of Hormuz negotiations and control. And then here they post this nonsense, faking a conversation with Trump. And then here they put this up here. This is juvenile. Iranian embassy in South Africa. And that's unpalatable. They get away with it. Nothing happens to them. Yeah, Broken Arrow, I'm always busy bee. I got to get my taxes done, so I don't know if I'll do some more of that tonight. I might before I go to bed, but I really need to go to bed and get some sleep. I want to enroll in a course on multitasking, finishing what you start perfectly on time without sleep for days on end. Well, guys, bear in mind that when I was a young officer, so I had to drive, and that's what I did. I mean, I served in combat. I came back as a lieutenant, second lieutenant. Talk about going to combat. Yes, a second lieutenant. Wow. Came back from the war, and then I was scheduled to go to Hanau, to work in the aviation brigade with Apache helicopters, attack helicopters, and OH-58 reconnaissance helicopters, and Black Hawk transport helicopters, and a few Hueys. And so I was scheduled to go there. I went there, and when I arrived, I was assigned as the assistant brigade S2 as a first lieutenant in a captain's position, and my boss was a captain, Captain Richardson. Captain Richardson, I came in for the in-brief, and he said, don't get too comfortable. You won't be here very long. I'm like, huh? My orders said I'm coming here. He said, yeah, well, Ray Starman is up at the Cav Squadron in Bootingen, and, he's going to come down here because he's earned that spot. I'm like, huh? Okay, so Captain Richardson went to Command General Staff College course in the States. And while he was gone for a couple of months, we had several preparatory exercises, and I got to hone my craft. And what would happen is I was supposed to be a major, a captain, and then 5 NCOs and junior enlisted, so 7 people. It was me as a lieutenant, 1 staff sergeant, 1 E4, and 1 E3. That was it. 4 of us instead of 7. And we went to these things, and during the course of this, I quickly learned things that were needed that weren't being done. Like I came up with ways to do suppression of enemy air defense, a SEED mission, and using jammers and using artillery barrages to suppress the enemy air defense so our helicopters could fly, and doing the timing, coming up these. I made these sheets up. Back then we had these Oki data printers, and I created this format, and then it was a measles sheet, and we just fill it out, and boom, we put in a suppression enemy air defense order, and they put it in the computer. It was pretty cool. Anyway, so I had this all wired, and after like 3 preparatory exercises, then he came back after 4 exercises, and then the 5th one, he came back for a Battle Command Training Program, BCTP exercise, which is command post exercise. You go to the field, but there's computers running it, so you're not maneuvering with forces on the ground, but you do drive back and forth in the German countryside. Anyway, Captain Richardson came back, and we would get ready to go for a briefing, an update. And he goes, Lieutenant Wyatt, I need this. I'm like, sir. And I handed it to him. And he said, yeah, we're going to have to take care of this. I handed it to him. We probably should make an overlay. I handed him the acetate. He's like, what the hell? So after 2 or 3 days in the field, he pulled me aside and says, Chris, I feel kind of bad for Ray Starman. I said, what do you mean, sir? He said, well, you're not going anywhere. And so I made myself invaluable, and I learned the craft better than the guy I was working for, and better than anyone else. And I got kudos. And the point of that story is the only way I did that is I worked for 96 hours straight with an occasional 10 to 15 minute cat nap. Now, bear in mind, I'm in my 20s. I'm very physically fit doing this. And so that's just, I just learned to... last night was terrible. Last night I went to bed at 3:30, and I woke up and... No, maybe it was 2:30 last night. Yeah, that's when I finished working, 2:30. And I woke up at 3:20, and then I went back to sleep. I woke up at 3:50 something, fell asleep. I woke up at 4:30. I was like, every half hour I woke up until 6:30. It was insane. But I did get plenty of sleep, but I'm back to that sleep disorder that's affecting me again. It hasn't been there for a while. Yeah, so I wonder if they will email me a new date within the next 2 months. I'm sure they'll email you new dates soon. They'll probably contact. No, it's not sleep apnea. No, it's not Holden Caulfield. I've had the test. If it had been sleep apnea, I would have got an automatic 50% disability. And with my 50% I have now for everything else, I would be at 100% disability. I'd be getting 3 times my disability paycheck. I'd have free dental care, free eye care, because 100% you get everything. I don't get any of that. No, if it had been sleep apnea, I would have gotten all that, but I don't have sleep apnea. Yeah, there's a pink one, Loretta, that snuck in. You came late. There's a hitchhiker over there. That's a pink one. He's not supposed to be in there in my purple bin. So, but he's looking pretty good, so I'll leave him alone. Yes, Mad Max, that's the key. I have a very inquisitive mind. Yep. Very inquisitive mind. I don't like not knowing things. Yep. So I just wanted tonight offer a shout out to the folks that have been trying to help the South African refugees. Specifically, I'm talking about a few different people, and I'll name them now, who've helped people in some cases immensely, in some cases a bit, but all of it makes a difference. And those that I'm aware of, so Antoinette and the South African Ladies Group, all over the country, including Liesel, who I just met this week, and Linda out in another location, and hundreds of other South African women. So my cap is off to them. Also, I want to thank Professor G for his tireless efforts to also address this program, and also for him frequently giving me credit for things. Not everyone does that. Oftentimes I see people stealing my recommendations, my advice, and people cheering them on. Oh, you're so helpful, when I'm the one that told people that over and over again for months. Yeah, I did do a sleep study, Holden. That's correct. I did a sleep study. Nice try. I did a sleep study, and they tried to make me pay for it. Yeah, and I refused, and I threatened to go to Congress and report it, and they said, no, it's fine. You were still active duty. The problem is that the active duty scheduled me for an appointment, but they wouldn't schedule me until after I retired, and they're like, well, now you have to pay because the insurance. It's your. I'm like, no, this was my retirement physical. The Army scheduled it after. They didn't schedule it before because they ignored me. So I got it sorted out. But anyway, yeah, so in addition to Antoinette and the South African Ladies, I'd like to thank Professor G. Beyond that, there's some other folks I'd like to thank. Dr. Mike Morris from the Philadelphia area, who's tried to help refugees. In addition, we need to thank... We need to send a thank out there to Lili van der Plas, who has done a lot of work. She didn't realize she's bitten off more than she can chew. Maybe by this point she does realize that. Thank her for her tireless efforts. And also, I think we should thank, even though she's been very unfair, in the interest of full disclosure, not full disclosure, but objectivity, is thank Shelley Hepburn, who has been helping some South African refugees in her own way. And yeah, so there you go. How do you test for sleep apnea? They do a sleep study, and they monitor you. You've got all kinds of electrodes and stuff on you, and a very specific thing, and it's really weird, and you got to go to sleep. Yeah. So anyway, yep. Well, the difference this year, Xavier, is that last year I didn't get around to it until April. And then I had to rush and get it done. This year, I started putting my receipts together. So I made a spreadsheet because I've got so many expenses for the business, and I never made money. I've been losing money for all these years, from the broadcasting and the consulting. So especially the broadcasting, it's just a sinkhole. I mean, bringing you the news cost me a fortune. But now I have a spreadsheet laid out, and what I do is whatever means is to pay for it, whether it's direct bank debit or it's a credit card, which credit card is, I list the date, I list the vendor, I list what it's for, and then I have a category for what sort of thing it is, and then I also list a description of it. So, this subscription to this periodical, or this subscription to this software service, and then I sort them not alphabetically, but chronologically. And the thing is that some are recurring. It's once a year. I pay for Zoom once a year. I pay for ViewStats once a year. I pay for Nord VPN once a year. I pay for Streamlabs once a year. And so once I had it up last year, now I can put this column and go, and then the new things, I can add them in there. And then next year I'll just slide over and I'll compare it. And what happened is that, like, for instance, my subscriptions have risen by almost $2,000. So this year I spent, in 2025, $5,960 or $40 on subscriptions to bring you the news. Because I have to be able to access what the media is saying. Otherwise, how can I report on what they're saying and analyze when they're lying to you? And so I do that so you don't have to. That is what, 180,000 Rand or something like that? What does that come out to be? $5,900. I think it's 180,000 Rand or thereabouts. Say 5,960 times, we'll go 17. It seems a good number. Oh, I'm sorry, 101,000. My bad. 101,000. It's 101,000 Rand for subscriptions. So, but last year I didn't have that prepared like that because the cost has been going up as I've done more and more each year and expanded the access to different sites and different software to improve the service and the quality of what we're doing. So then I have all the hotel bills, I have all the car rentals, I have the petrol costs. I'm entitled to take off per diem for meals, but I don't claim that. I probably should. That would take a few $1,000s more off of this easily, but I never do that. Because I don't keep the receipts for that. But yeah. So I do not take the meals. So I shortchanged myself, but it takes a while. So last year I had all that done in April. This time, much of that was gathered and put in format in late December. And then as the statements came in for the dividends and interest and, income and taxes paid, I went in and added to it. So now all of that has been collated and added together. And what I spent in 2025 versus what I spent in 25, a lot more money. But I did have income because my channel made some money last year, but a lot of it's going out in taxes. So I've got all that finished. Now it's time to put that stuff into the software to do the taxes. And I've already actually entered a lot of that already. I've just got to go back and review it and then start filling out and answering the questions and put my business expenses in for itemized. And then, so I should be able to finish it in short order. It's the state one that's always a pain because finding where it's at in the website is always complicated. The library card is fee. What does that have to do with free? What does that have to do with anything? Oh, you mean because of subscriptions? Yeah, no, my library doesn't have access to News 24, Times Live, Daily Maverick, BizTech, and all those other things. They don't have access to that. Yeah, when military intelligence knows something, ask Colonel Wyatt. Hey, Doris Enrique. Thank you for your video earlier, Colonel. South Africans so used to not getting help from our useless government. Try to survive. Yep. Colonel White doesn't visit Africa. Africa reports his progress to him. The Pentagon satellite network is just a backup of Colonel Wyatt's intuition. GPS doesn't tell Colonel Wyatt where to go. He tells GPS where he currently is. Red says, so don't lie. The tax system is a nightmare. Well, it's not a nightmare if you're 19 years old and you're single and you make less than a certain amount of money. It's a piece of cake. It's one page. You're done. Yep. Actually, the CIA does learn from me. I used to teach people. Five languages fluent. The sixth one is pure silence and universally understood. It's a deathly stare. The sixth language is a deathly stare. Yep. Max, I told you to save all these things, man. They sell my blood at Starbucks. Your phone has never been so busy. Mails, SMS, the clinic, refugee. Yeah, exactly. How can we help you, Colonel? Well, you can help by watching my videos, finding 3 people to subscribe that you know that aren't subscribed, and watch the ads. Yep, that's how you can help. Beyond that, offer interviews for refugees when I ask for them, and just keep watching. Stay loyal to the program. That's it. Yeah, you like the tulip, Shawnee? Look at the pink one that snuck its way into the purple bin or basket. That little bugger. There's at least 6 blooming on each of those pots right now, and on the ones outside, because the cold weather, are this high. These ones in here are that high. So from this outside to what's inside here, that's just a huge difference. Oh, well, Xavier, the subscriptions are just one of my expenses. There's rental car, there's airfare, there's hotels, bed and breakfast. Yeah. I didn't even include things like my ticket costs for the Rugby World Cup because I do it there as a journalist. That wasn't a holiday. I could have included the tickets, but I didn't even do that, Probably should. Now you just made me on too. Sorry, Loretta, but it's late. It's late. We're up to 100 people now. Cool beans, and 308 watching, so. Not everybody uses TurboTax to file the IRS. I used to do it myself manually, but it's just become such a pain. TurboTax is a bit of a pain in the ass because they've set it up to screw you so that if you have to file state taxes and you have something like I have, they report the false information. So, for instance, my military retirement is not taxable in Pennsylvania. My YouTube revenue, my consulting revenue, my investment income is all taxable by Pennsylvania because I'm a resident. But my military retirement, no retirement pay is taxable by the state. It's taxed by the federal government. They take a lot, but that's 3%. So I gain 3% of my retirement. I get to keep that. But when that goes on the form, that's the bulk of my income is my retirement check from the military. And if I don't pay for the state, like I had to do last year because they changed it, so I had to pay an extra $80 or whatever, then it reports all of my income automatically. And it's just a mess. I used to be able to go to the state website and do it, and it wouldn't let me do it last year, so it just kind of sucked. So that income stays on there, and then my taxes are off the charts. I mean, the first full year I filed tax in Pennsylvania, I got screwed because the Pennsylvania site was screwed up, and it made me report my income, and then I had to go to a worksheet and report it, and it put it in there twice. And so they owed me $800, and I wanted to have to pay them $600, so it was a $1,400 swing. Such a mess, and I never got my money back. Oh, Broken Arrow, there's lots of taxes in Texas, just not income taxes. All right, Monster Max. Well, Mad Max is already waiting to do one, but I have to wait till after my trip. Interesting events to talk about, okay? Yes, I do get a home studio deduction, a home office deduction. Not a studio, but home office deduction. But what they do is it's a square footage, and you got to figure all that. And the first year I did that a few years ago was complicated, so I've kept a spreadsheet with all the dimensions and everything because the software doesn't automatically repopulate for that, which is stupid because I haven't moved. So yeah, this room that I'm in is exclusively for my studio. I have a sitting room over here, and I had to put up a Japanese screen barrier here because it's a walkway cut out, and you come in, it's like this, and then you go into the other room. That's where I have a couch and an ottoman and a few things in there, a couple knickknacks from Africa and some baskets from the Kalahari. So this is a studio exclusively for this program and making videos. That's exclusively what it's for. So this room has been dedicated for 6 years for that. I've used it for nothing else. Is there a certain salary bracket you say that doesn't pay? Yes, basically the Black Rabbit. Anybody in this country, a family of 4 that makes $50,000 less, pays no federal tax. Yeah, because you get a standard deduction, you get exemptions for each family member, and then if the kids are a certain age, you have a certain number of kids, you also get an earned income credit. So a lot of Americans who work pay nothing in federal tax. Now, they pay tax during the year, it's withheld, but at the end of the year, they file their taxes and they get it all back for the most case. But people that make more than that are paying out the wazoo. They pay out the wazoo. Okay. So Red, I'm not an extravagant person. I'm driving a 2004 SUV that's been all over Africa, Europe, and North America. It doesn't have any rust on it, and it's in cherry condition with a V8. I can't get a V8, so I'm not replacing it. And I'm driving an 11-year-old Chrysler. So what you're hearing, and it just kicked on, is my 31-year-old Frigidaire. Standard, open the door, right to left, shelves are there. Crisper for vegetables here, and then down there for cheeses and meats up here, and then the shelves, and then the freezer on top. And it works. The only thing is it runs a lot, so it probably uses more electricity than it should. And then you just heard my dormitory fridge, which is here. When I moved here, my fridge was in storage, so I had no fridge. So I bought one. One of those mini fridges that you see at universities for students. I bought one of those, and it's behind this monitor along the wall. That one is exclusively for drinks. So, water, my Starbucks, my V8, my tea, and little cans of Coke all sit in there. That's only for that. That's all I use it for. And so this one didn't used to kick on, but now it's older. It kicks on periodically. You never heard it. Now you hear it. So it's quite annoying. So you are hearing that. And occasionally you might hear my dishwasher running. With the dishwasher in the kitchen, because behind that wall is my kitchen. Mad Max wants that 4-runner when it comes up sale. Still have my grandfather's deep freezer from his days. Still works, but it's loud, runs basically nonstop. Well, I have a freezer downstairs, not a full-size one, but about that long, about that long, because the long ones are like 6 or 8 feet, 2 meters. So it's about that, and it's kind of deep. That freezer is fantastic. In the basement, It almost never has to run. I mean, it's hard to use any energy. It's so well sealed and insulated that it just stays frozen on the inside and it rarely runs. It's pretty cool. Hey, Bianca. Interview with Friday. Yes, I recall. I have an interview tomorrow. Who's your interview with tomorrow? And Monday. Who are you being interviewed by? Suddenly people are interviewing refugees? What's that all about? Yeah, I saw that Holden Caulfield. The Army has raised enlistment age to 42. That's not been that way for a long, long time. Who's interviewing you? Interviews for... Oh, that's great. Well, congratulations. And you got gifted a television. That's pretty awesome. So the refugees who came to central Pennsylvania, I showed them televisions in BJ's, the discount warehouse, and we looked at a 65-inch LED television. And that 65-inch LED television, $318. Yeah. 4,500 rand. Congratulations. Good luck with those. In America, people tend to put a lot of miles on their vehicles before they swap them out. No, it's tomato looking like tomato juice, but it's not like tomato juice. It tastes very different. It's got celery in it. It's got beets in it. V8 is a vegetable cocktail, and I love it. When I was a kid, I used to take it, and I still do it, pour it in a glass, put salt and pepper on the top of it, and drink it. I love it. I like to drink my V8 with popcorn. I eat white cheddar popcorn and drink it with that, and it's just a good mix, you know. No, you don't get a TV license in America. Over the air is free. In fact, all you have to do is buy one of those HD television antennas and just connect to the back of your TV, and you can watch channels over the air for free. Advertising pays for it. But reality is most people have cable or they have some sort of streaming service. FEMA tent's already here, and I'm already in his backyard. There's no such thing as a good price for a car at Black Rabbit. It depends on the car, depends on the use, depends on where you're at, depends on circumstances. One thing I will caution people for is make sure you get a history of a car if you buy something in the South, particularly in a place like Florida, where hurricanes happen and cars get flooded. They can refurbish them and sell them, but they have to report that. So the history of the car can be checked, like at Carfax, I think, or somewhere like that. You can check it, but check the history of the car. If you buy a car from down there and it's a used car, you need to check the history. Well, Broken Arrow, I have not bought a used car since 1987. I bought a Volkswagen Passat in 1987 for, was it $1,500 maybe? I'm trying to remember. It's been a long time ago. And that was my primary vehicle for my first year back at university, and then I bought a new car, and my payment was $148 a month. Mad Max says you can get a car. No, Mad, don't say that, Max. That may be true where you're at, but you can't do that here. There's a used car dealership right down the street. I mean, about 1,800 meters, maybe 2 kilometers where I'm at. And they've got all kinds of stuff, trucks and cars and everything. And I haven't seen a decent car on their lot for less than $5,000. It depends where you're at. It depends on the market. The used car market became excessively pricey during the COVID scam. Prices went up and people just bought used cars. They weren't buying new cars. I don't know Car Vertical, but that sounds like Carfax. And Holden says assault from cars in the north have rusty undercarriages. No, that's not true. That's 1960s, 1970s. My cars have been in the north and there's no rust on the undercarriage of either of my cars. Nope. No, that's you're telling a story from, steel cars made back in the 1960s, 70s, and even 80s. That's simply untrue. I haven't got a speck of rust on the undercarriage. In fact, when in my Chrysler, when my V8 goes to the Toyota dealer, they're shocked at how clean the undercarriage is. That doesn't mean there's rust. I mean, the axle has a little bit of rust on it, but that's nothing. That's steel. I'm not worried about a little bit of rust on there. But there's no rust in the body, no rust in the frame. And so twice now that they've taken it over the past couple of years, the mechanic's like, this is really a 2004. This vehicle's in incredible shape. And I said, wait till I tell you where it's been. That vehicle has been all over the United States to Canada, and it has also been in United Kingdom, France, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, Germany, Switzerland, Austria, Italy, all over Europe. And it has been to Botswana, Namibia, Swaziland, South Africa, Uganda, Ethiopia. And no rust on it. Well, I don't know what robust rust buckets you got, but I live in Pennsylvania and no rust on my vehicles. That's because people don't maintain those cars. See, the problem is that people never wash them. This is what happens to them. You have to wash your car. Thank you for your membership, Arnold. How many miles on what? My car has 125,000. My SUV has 95,000. My SUV is 21 years, and my car is 11 years, and it has more mileage. Mark, what's going on? Okay, Mark. Everybody's always asking about emails when they come out here, so let's see. Let me see. So in that account, I only have 5,846 unread messages. Okay, so who sent it to me? Mark. I don't see any marks here. I do have Mark. March 23rd. Oh. Oh, that was last night from this. Oh. I do have your email. It didn't show up initially, but there it is. Well, congratulations. Wow. So, do you want to do an interview? All right. Yeah, Alex, when I grew up, cars in Ohio had lots of rust. But that was 40 years ago. And that's just not the case anymore. Cars in Ohio had a lot of rust when I was young. Absolutely. That's a true story. I don't know what's going on in New York. People probably just don't do things. Okay. So I found that, but why does that not show up? It was from yesterday. Maybe it's further down. Huh. Okay. Okay. I know that there's over 25 people, and I expect them to come. But apparently there's like, how many did you say? Let me see. Let me check on the number. I want to say a number, but I don't want to get it wrong. Okay, hang on a second here. What am I looking for? Oh, yeah. So there are about 450 South Africans living in the. They had a big bribe past weekend, or they're having one this weekend. There's about 450 South Africans living in the greater Vegas area, plus the refugees who come in. So 25 people are already there. 4 just arrived today, so that's 29. I don't know if they're all coming, and who knows. So yeah. Cannot import a Land Cruiser Baku from South Africa's emission standards. Correct. Oh, we have Land Cruisers. You can get a Land Cruiser here. Yeah. You can buy a Land Cruiser here. Yeah. Let me see. Toyota Land Cruiser. Okay. All right. So 2026 Toyota Land Cruiser, starting at $57,000 for a hybrid. Huh. Yep. So here you go. There's a Land Cruiser. You can get it right there. 2026 Land Cruiser, starting at $57,600. Okay. Let's see what the offers are. Okay. 5% for 6 years, 5% for 5 years, and a lease for $519, but you have to pay $5,000 to go out the door with it. So this one's multi-terrain, inverter. Okay, let's see. Vehicles. All right. Well, this is all Toyotas, not just that. So here's the 4Runner. There's the Sequoia. Sequoias are massive. They're absolutely massive. These are huge vehicles, the Sequoia. But when they made them, when I bought mine 20 years ago, they made them so big that they the brakes were underpowered and the brake pads wore out very fast because it weighs so much. And when people would hit the brakes, all that weight shifted to the front pads, and they would be stripped out pretty quickly. Let's take a look. Okay, 437 horsepower. So I have 468 horsepower, so it has less than I do. Yep. But can you get it in a V8 is my question. I doubt that. I don't want to see the gallery. I want to see. That's a big. I don't like the grill. That's an idiotic grill. Okay. You can pull 9,500 pounds. Towing Titan. Specs. Okay, I want to know what's the engine. 4-wheel drive, electric motor. What the hell? Okay, why is okay? It's not telling me if it's standard automatic. It's a hybrid. They're all hybrids. Oh, there we go. V6, V6 hybrid, V6 hybrid, V6 hybrid. You can't even get a V8 because the emission standards, which Trump is easy now. I don't want a Chevrolet. Max DK loves the mountains. Mountains where? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, you can get a Land Cruiser here in America. Yep. You just can't bring one from South Africa because they don't meet the emission standards, and the safety class might even be an issue too. Yeah, I'm considering a hybrid. I actually looked at, what was that I looked at the other day? I took a picture of that bad boy. The thing was at Costco when I took the South Africans there. Let me see. Let me find that picture. Okay. There it is. A Hyundai Tucson hybrid. Okay. Let me see what they say. Hyundai Tucson hybrid. You guys say Hyundai, which is probably the correct way to pronounce it, to be honest. Hyundai. But we say Hyundai. Tucson. T-U-S-C-O-N. There it is. Hybrid. Puget Sound Naval Shipyard. I'm going to Tokyo. Wow. Awesome, man. Japan rocks. Yeah, it is a lot better to be around than it is. Hey, Courtney, how's it going? Thanks for the $5. Here it says they started 32,000, but the one that they were selling at Costco was a 44,000. It was loaded. So here, Tucson hybrid. It's kind of small though, but it's. I mean, I can deal with a hybrid, but not electric because a hybrid you still have a petrol engine. But that looks pretty sharp. It's just kind of small. Starting at 32,000, you get 38 miles per gallon. That's pretty cool. 231 horsepower. That's not great. And it's all-wheel drive. I will only buy all-wheel drives in future. I never want a two-wheel drive vehicle again, or a four-wheel where I have to shift into four. I love all-wheel drive. Camry getting 48, but Camry, yeah, that's so 0% APR for 60 months, no payments for 3 months for well qualified buyers. Yeah, I like that color too. That's pretty sharp, but it is a little small. So let's look at the specs. Okay. And Courtney, do you like my Toyota Prius? Yeah, you had a nice car, but I nearly bought a Prius years ago. So the blue SC. Okay, so all of them are about 38 miles a gallon. Hold 13.7 gallons. Powertrain handling. Okay. 1.6 liter engine. That's not very big. Horsepower 178. That's not very strong. Compression ratio is not bad. Gasoline direct injection, okay. All right, electric motor is 47 kilowatts, okay. Lithium-ion battery, okay. 6-speed automatic transmission, all-wheel drive, shift by wire. Towing capacity 2,000. By comparison, the vehicle I showed you a few minutes ago, the Sequoia, had 9,500 pounds of towing capacity. It's 2,000. Yeah, that's a lot smaller. So let's go back to Hyundai, and they got the Santa Fe, which is a bigger one. Now the Kia Telluride is something that's interesting too. Let me check that out. Kia Telluride. That's a decent sized SUV. Let's take a look at that. I don't like the grill, but I mean, that's not a reason not to buy a vehicle. It's good. So the grill looks kind of retarded. But here is the Kia Telluride. You can get it as a hybrid if you want. That looks, it didn't look that way this year. That looks kind of boxy. I mean, this portion of the front looks kind of weird. So yeah, they start at 39,000, go to 47,000. And the mileage is a lot less than that other vehicle. 637 miles of range. That's good. You don't have to top off very often. 2.5 liter. By comparison, I have a 4.7 liter engine, but everything is different. They're turbocharged and everything. This one hauls 5,000 pounds as compared to that Sequoia, which hauls 9,000. Yep. And then back to Hyundai vehicles. Let me see. I wanted to look at that Santa Fe. Here's the Santa Fe. This is a bigger SUV than the other one I told you about. Okay, so yeah, here's the Tucson Hybrid. It's not really an SUV. It's more like a sedan. But here is the Santa Fe. Should be a wedding invitation. Okay, Courtney, thank you. I appreciate that. Santa Fe. That's also looking a little boxy, but it's 231 horsepower, 36 miles, all-wheel drive. That's the Santa Fe is interesting. Let's look at the specs. So pretty good mileage. Fuel tank 17.7 gallons. Now, these aren't hybrids, are they? No. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so that's some options there. Yep. There you go. All right, guys, it is been a while here. Straight 6 over V6. Well, I prefer V8. Oh, there's no tariff on vehicles that are purchased in America. The tariffs are only applied to vehicles, vehicles are manufactured overseas. Yep. Yeah. Have fun in Japan, man. Fire and glory worship. Kia Sorento. Yeah, I've seen that one too. That's nice too. All right, guys, I need to get the rack and also look at my taxes real quick, but I think I'll just do that in the morning. I'll get up early. You guys be well. Thanks for being here, and take care. And we'll see you later on. Check out any of the 10 videos I did today. All right. Anyway, all right. Thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. All right. Have a good night. Be well.